Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Happy Monday. You know what? Let me see. What is okay? May 20th, I think, 2024. I posted a message that you may or may not have tuned into today already. Ironically, I actually posted it on May 18th on Saturday. Didn't realize until today, if you can believe it, that there was an error with it posting, and it never did. So it's funny because if you get into the message, it was a bit of a dance that I was doing to release that transmission. It was a lot, it was almost like pulling teeth on my end. It felt like that at times because I was sharing information that was kind of fresh to me and a little bit foreign to me, quite honestly. So I felt in the moment, usually those are the messages that have a little bit of extra sauce on them, but I felt in the moment, the struggle a bit. And I thought, okay, well, obviously this is something purposeful. But then when it didn't post and I thought it did, I was like, wow, that's interesting. So I did post it again. And, it is even a little bit longer than some of my typical messages. So you may or may not have checked then, but I definitely encourage that you do and see what you may glean from it. But in any event, the point was for me to give the explanation as to why I already posted a video today, and now I'm posting another one, even though it's a little bit later today. So who knows when this will actually post? It may already be Tuesday by the time you see it. So, tap in as you feel guided, nonetheless. All right. But anyway, I hope you're doing well. I hope that the week is off to a powerful start. And I'm not going to be before you long. Let's just see what comes up today on this Monday. Six of Pentacles. This could be a gift. It could be an exchange of resources, information. I don't know why I said information, because typically not so much, but maybe resources, energy. Page of Swords. Could be information. It could be information. Could be gossip, though. When we could talk about the Six of Pentacles and the Page of Swords, it could be information traveling around a group. And some people are getting one version of a story and others are getting another. But it may or may, there's some, if it is that, then there is the possibility of some imbalance in the truth or in the information that's being circulated. Oh, okay. All right. About a death or either about an impending death or about what is that? The Page of Swords looking to death. A cause of death. Two Pages pages. Yeah, this is definitely information. Definitely information. Interesting. I'm not gonna take any of these. Let's just see what we got, because I'm not really too sure what we talking about here. Eight of Pentacles is about work and an offer, job offer. A job offer of a high-level position. A job offer of which not many, it feels like a highly coveted position, or one that has a great deal of benefits, but is very selective. Yeah, a great deal of benefits. Yeah, and the King of Swords, ooh, with the Four of Wands. But what is the information, though, with the Death card? And the Seven of Wands have to protect or stand your ground, or to affirm your boundaries and standards. I'm hearing practices. And the King of Swords can definitely be like an official person, a CEO. And then the King of Pentacles. Oh, I'm just seeing that I was kind of zoned out. King of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. Oh, and the Ten of Cups. So either we're talking about an actual job position, or we're talking about, oh, okay. So this could be, this could be someone wanting to be, considered carefully in a partnership. Again, which makes sense in the Lover's card, like a union that has great benefits and the position is highly coveted, but very selective. And then we had the we had the King of Pentacles and the King of Swords. But the circulation of information regarding a death is still in my thoughts of how that's going to come together. Either a cause of death or now the King of Wands. Who's looking at this Lover's card, feeling like they are, so somebody feels quite confident that they are the man for the job. Whatever that job is, the King of Wands is confident to believe that he's the top choice, even above the King of Swords, who obviously would have the expertise and the intellect for the position. The King of Pentacles, who might have the maybe experience or even resources for the devotion, more so than anything, like the commitment and dependability for the position. The King of Wands knows they have the passion, they have the drive, and they're the most competitive of all the kings. Let's see what's on the bottom with the Page of Cups. Now we've seen every page except for the Page of Pentacles. I don't know what this Page of Cups means in this instance, though. It's a message of an emotional essence, an apology, or get another one. With the Chariot. Oh, somebody's in it to win it. In it to win it. As the King of Wands usually is, thinking that, you know, as soon as they have even set their sights on something, it's as good as conquered, achieved, established, created, allured, whatever the ambition is. The King of Wands has the courage to see it through to a successful completion, as it is here. I don't know why these feel so crooked to me already. Like, come on. Let's see, what else? What else? Oh, what's on the bottom? Oh, the Empress. So that's the incitement of the competition here. Someone that there's a great deal of potential with. Again, highly coveted position with amazing benefits. We're talking about the highest value woman here with the Empress. So this is somebody that, you know, and it's definitely giving emphasis on the attraction here with the Empress and the King of Wands, who is attractive in his own right, but then the Empress is like, you know, beauty embodied, more or less. Maybe not so much like aesthetically or superficially, perhaps that too, but there's something like irresistible with all of this energy here. Between is like somebody's focused on putting the work in to prove themselves to be the main candidate, or, you know, the ideal partner. There it is. Thank you. Prove themselves to be the ideal partner. They are determined to pursue this partnership no matter what the cost or what the feat or competition in this regard. And they see the object of their passion as a supreme prize with the Empress. So it's like you can see the ambition, but you can also see what someone sees they are working for. You know, like there's a high reverence for what it's not given that somebody just wants to, well, I mean, it could be that too, but there's too much emphasis on value here. And also with the Eight of Pentacles, it's like you would work for this regardless of, you know, if they're without the guarantee of a reward or a victory. Even though there is all the ambition and confidence for it, it's like you would be willing to put in the work just for the chance to potentially be in this partnership, because that's just how highly valued it is, at least to whomever is pursuing it, or at least idolizing it. But with the King of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles and the Chariot, it seems like some action is definitely being taken or about to be taken, if it's not already in motion, quite honestly. Like there's already some steps that have been put into place. And then we had the Six of Pentacles at the bottom. As somebody wants something reciprocal as well. Like there's an intention for equal give and take. But I'm still stuck on those pages. And then we had the Ten of Cups, we had the pages, the swords, and the wands. But the Death card in the middle, I don't know, maybe I'm reading that wrong. And it's more transformation. I mean, you know, the Death card is death and rebirth. But what is that? That's the only thing that's that piece that I'm like, what's that about? That's a big question mark for me. Is that the transformation that someone dedicated themselves to? Is that the work with the Eight of Pentacles that someone committed themselves to be a viable partner in this union? And if that's the case, then what's the talk about? What's the, oh, there's the competition. That it may be that. Maybe that. Wow. That kind of flipped a little floppy, but I'm gonna take it up right. Nine of Cups. Yeah. Someone that could be it, you know, and perhaps that's the guy. Even how I'm confused right now, that there's information that's circulating about someone's maybe change of heart or just transformation in general. There's been some narrative that's been circulated about it that, as I said in the beginning, there's something twisted about the truth regarding it, or some, like a game of telephone, or, you know, like something about the message has been distorted or twisted. Yeah, with the Moon card. What is this about, though? About the nature of someone's change, why they change, or it literally could be, if it is practically in terms of the death card, I just keep hearing cause of death, though. It's something mysterious and distorted about some information that is unrevealed, or maybe has yet to be revealed. Oh, in order for someone to be satisfied. Oh, hold on. I just got chills. Is it the spirit of someone? Eight of Cups, it could be. Whose cause of death was whose cause of death has either been falsified, or, like I said, something's distorted about it. Like what it was determined to be, or even maybe perceived to be, maybe isn't what it was. Truly. Oh God, that just took a turn. Well, I'll tell you what, this Gemini season, which, as a matter of fact, are we already in it? I don't think so. Maybe it's another day or two. I can't remember the exact date that starts Gemini season, but it's just around the corner, if not already today. Will definitely be a truth serum. You know, it's gonna be like hella exposures every which way, so hold on to your butts, literally. But yeah, like, yeah, something's up here with the King of Cups. Oh my gosh. It's like somebody can't move on until because this could have easily been reversed, but I've took it upright. Let me get a couple more. Yes, look at this. New beginning, moving on, you know. It's like somebody's going backwards into this two of Wands in reverse is like having no plan of action, not being able to make a move forward, not seeing your, like being stuck in limbo. Ugh. Oh my gosh, Hangman. Like somebody is oh, shoot. I don't even know if you saw that, but that just... But what is the work for? Was these two different energies? What's happening right now? It's like, feels like somebody's stuck in like purgatory or something, or just like in limbo between their mind and their spirit. Perhaps King of Pentacles. And the Temperance. I'm a little bit stumped. Maybe there were multiple people in competition for this so-called position or whatever. Okay, that makes sense. Was it a fight to the death? Like, what? What happened here? Is the King of Pentacles the victor? Something was balanced out spiritually here. I guess the Nine of Cups, which was a struggle, is because a great deal of some of those that maybe were not chosen or that may have been rejected, I don't know, from this position or this opportunity, are gravely disappointed. And I get the sense, like, with themselves, very jealous and feeling maybe a bit discarded, even lost. With the Two of Wands in reverse. But as I said, like, whatever this position is, it's very selective or very exclusive. So there was a high level of requirement. I mean, the Lovers is supreme self, straight up. So operating in the Five of Wands, which came out, and then the Five of Swords, which is like a deceptive art of war to some degree, like just willing to kind of step on anybody to win. That might be the answer in the war in the world, but a war of a more spiritual essence, it requires a more pure passion. but grounded at the same time, because here's the King of Pentacles, you know, so it's like, And this is it again. And I was seeing this as I was talking in my head, but I don't know why. I literally, as I just was talking, was seeing this again. I guess it's the fairness. You know, this is like, to me, this is like representative of the natural law of karma, where every action has, well, that's not the natural law of karma, that's actually more scientific, but practically speaking, like every action has a reaction. And, you know, so this card more or less is about cause and effect, more or less, you know, where at any given time you could be this lesser man or the greater man, but the roles can switch easily. So it's like something here about, especially coming off the Temperance card, about the scales being balanced. Back to the Four of Wands and Spirit and in Truth and repeat cards. An establishment and an achievement of balance and harmony. That's not easy to come by here. So this is just like a very distinct, it's like many would have wanted to fill this position, but it's just no way. Like it's not. You'd have to go through a great deal, like a rigorous interview process to really get to be a serious consideration, let alone to be the selection. The soul selection is what I hear. It's very masculine too, so maybe it's just speaking about like divine masculine's journey to evolve and transform. Now that makes sense. And maybe amidst a great deal with the pages in that first little spread, that was a lot of the projection and distraction and considerations that one may have had to kind of surge through. Again, that was the putting in the work to make the grade, more or less, to go through all the cycles of the Emperor's journey, more or less. Because at this point, we've seen all the kings. We saw the King of Swords, the King of Cups, and now the King of Wands and Pentacles is on the board. So maybe that's what's more or less what it is, like the masculine really evolving into, you know, divine masculine at that, really being promoted and appointed. Appointed is really the word. And I mean, you know, when you consider it, like, yeah, there's something about that. wow, it took a lot to get to that. To create these harmonious and that's what the Four of Wands is for, to reestablish this balance and harmony and divine partnerships. And it's just really giving a picture of divine masculine pursuing their rightful position of power. I would say not even just the pursuit, but reclaiming it. And that being the only thing that would be satisfying to keep this upright at the Nine of Cups at this point. And the competition, it seems, looks a lot like this at this point, where those that didn't really prepare well, maybe per se, for their interview, or, you know, for that selection process, they took, you know, different means to get there, or to, you know, to present themselves as a possibility, and anything less than integrity are kind of stuck in this middle ground here. Okay, because then I was talking about transformation. Okay. So yeah, so this is about the metamorphosis of divine masculine. And those that surrendered or submitted to that process, and those that didn't, and there being a great appointment and perhaps disappointment otherwise. But there's a divide here. There's a split. Wow, okay, so I'm on to something with that. And the have and the have-nots is what I was hearing here with the Six of Pentacles. That is the difference between those that, you know, have operated in truth and with the pursuit of clarity and in honor, and those that did not throughout that process. Pursuit, interview, you know, like whatever it is, it's basically like the appointment of it's like the Bachelor, the beloved Bachelor to some degree. It's like the eligible bachelors of creation, the ones that are being appointed to these more high level positions of commitment and co-creativity, and even procreativity at this point. Because the Empress is the prize, remember? So certainly not everyone is granted access to that lateral move, you know, that position to stand next to an Empress, just as much as the Empress had to more or less establish herself and her seat on that throne. So shall she now be joined with a counterpart that is complementary to that frequency. And I guess this is like what's been going on in the masculine world to get there, to render himself available and eligible. Eligible is the key though, eligible, because not everybody's eligible. What's under here? Wow, yeah. 8 of Wands. And it's like they about to take the world by storm or something. I don't know. Like, this is so strange. It's like almost, it may seem like overnight, this shift in the masculine energy, like almost like a shift in such a way. That's what that death card, that transformation is, because it's going to feel like all of a sudden the masculine energy is just like completely reformed or something, regenerated, revived, or like a new creature of some sort. Like maybe people that are with men that were operating in the pursuit of this function of just being their most supreme selves. Maybe feminines in that dynamic will look up and like be somehow astounded by who their counterpart has evolved to be. Like it seems like it's going to be a change that happens. It's going to feel like it happened overnight, or like right before your eyes and you didn't even notice it. Like you blink twice and somebody is just a high value man. I mean, of the highest caliber, not just all that superficial stuff, but like really supreme. Interesting. Which will raise, see, although it's like not everyone was up for the challenge and the charge of this promotion, everyone wasn't qualified, everyone wasn't eligible by way of their call to action, you know, how they actualized their passions, you know, and allowed them to be reformed or transformed. But what it will feel like is that transformation is now going to like materialize in such a way that it feels like it almost happened in like a wave. Like somebody waved the magic wand and suddenly the toxic masculinity is at an all-time low, and I guess like vibrant masculinity is on the all-time high. Like instead of like the manosphere being the prominent voice, even as having a polarizing effect, it suddenly will be the opposite. Like we're about to start seeing more men speaking from their heart space, speaking passionately yet compassionately, and with more grounded insight, maybe even being more dependable and devoted to their positions as creators and protectors and providers. Like something's about to shift for the man here, and I love it. And I feel like it's like I said, taking the world by storm here with the 8 of Wands, because it literally feels like it's like a epidemic or something, you know, like in the best way though, where we're used to, it's like we're kind of numb to the effects of toxic masculinity to some degree, but now to somehow live in a world, or it be much more popularized for men to be living in honor and in truth, and, you know, like really stepping up to the plate. Like it makes me emotional, quite honestly. Taking it very seriously, to be not just to talk the talk of a divine being, but to be very serious, dedicated, committed, that's all this energy here. And that's why the transformation was so strange to me, because it's like, and all the messages, because it's not only going to be a presence, a physical presence, it'll be communicated clearly as well. And back to that confusion about the cause of death, it's because it's astounding as to how this got to be. It's like miracle essence. Like, how is it that all of a sudden, like just yesterday, men were on a whole nother frequency? Like and when I say men, I don't necessarily know that it gets to be all men any more than it is all women, obviously, because we still got this energy here. So there's still a difference in frequencies, but you know how it's kind of almost like in spirituality, it's kind of almost like not even that impressionable or surprising if a feminine is on her spiritual shit. You know, that's just kind of the nature of us. But for the masculine, even when you think of like primitively, so like tarot readers, there are a handful of masculine readers that I like and connect with compared to the women that I have a connection with, because there are far more women in the spiritual community presently pronounced than there are masculines, just like there were far more women in the church more prevalently than there were men, practically speaking. But something's about to really level out here. It's about to level out, but the way that it's leveling out is going to feel like almost like a storm of like these mighty men of valor. Let's call it what it is. That's a term in the Bible. If I find the scripture, I'll post it. But like the storm of men, but it's really just balancing, you know, like almost a man for every woman, you know, where it almost seems it seemed very opposite, that there were so many more women willing to be committed in these high level, just looking for a high level commitment, even though we were doing our work too. We weren't as ready as we thought we were, but that's what all this time has been. But we've been more vocally expressive about that commitment to the transition and transformation, whereas clearly masculines were maybe doing it undercover or behind the scenes or in ways that we just weren't really connected to be able to call it out for what it is. You know, not at this mass drove. This is something special here. This is something special. Like an army, a storm of men, and it's not like one of every 5 is eligible, emotionally available, healed, devoted, committed, dependable, honest, honorable, passionate, loving, kind, like generous. Not 1 in every 5. It's like 8 in every 10 type of energy. Can you imagine? Oof, my goodness. That just changed the whole reading for me. That changed the whole message. Well, that's yet another confirmation, and all we ladies gonna have to do is just choose up. Choosing wisely, of course. But it's like, it seems like to me there are going to be so many options. Well, still there is a synergy between, you know, the one for you, as it is with the lovers. It's not like, you know, it's raining men, hallelujah. Oh shoot, that might be that might be the title. But it's not like it's raining men and, you know, you just trying to catch every raindrop on your tongue that you possibly can. But it's just like an elevation of hope in the realm compared to what it's perceived to be now, where it feels like the pickings are slim. I'm sure men feel like that too to some degree. So it could even be interchangeable, because when you think about the manosphere, it exists for a reason, because there seems to be more a more rampant mentality of toxic femininity, you know, on display than there is the opposite. So I guess we both, you know, have our plight when you think about it, but I'm talking about the real, even as primitively as I said, as the ratio of men to women in the church itself, in most churches. And you don't have to be religious or affiliated with a denomination or an association to just take my word for it, that there's a grave imbalance. So it's like now suddenly, and that's what I was saying, like the balancing is happening. The surge seems so astounding because it's catching up to what already is in existence, or what's already in process in some way, shape, or form. You know, like literally masculine and feminine just leveling up to meet each other on the same page. Yeah, that's amazing. And there's the Page of Cups again. Maybe the pages are perhaps maybe the masculine energies, kind of like, or just the communication dynamic overall, having to kind of like catch up to the process, you know, like actually being able to articulate where you are, where you stand, what you're feeling, what you want to establish. Maybe that part of it all is going to cause for a bit of an adjustment, because it's so new. Because consider that, like, it would be an adjustment to consider this, you know, simply someone expressing their love for you for the first time, from it coming from someone that usually isn't that expressive, or that you've been even maybe have been unsure about in some way, shape, or form, but they don't quite have all the right words to say what they're feeling, but they have a willingness to share. So on either side, there's a bit of like I don't even know what to call it. Not an apprehension, but I don't know what you call that. But there's something that gets to stabilize here, which may be the Six of Pentacles, because whereas one may not be used to expressing their position, let alone feeling it, but now having comfort with the feeling and even the assertion part, now to be willing to express, there still is like a what is it on the job when it's like a probationary period type, like a training period of sorts, you know, where it's like you're new to the job, so you kind of got to learn the ropes a little bit. And for the feminine, there's a grace period. Thank you. That's what's needed, a grace period, because just as foreign as it may be to hear these new terms of endearment and expressions of love, and even to experience these acts of devotion and kindness and commitment from either people that you're not used to experiencing it from, or at a magnitude of which you're not used to experiencing it of. Consider you're used to the pickings being slim to now every man that you encounter on the frequency that you're vibing on is a great potential match. You know, like you can hardly find anything really wrong with them, except for the fact that, you know, everybody can't be for you, you know, unless you're trying to have a, you know, a polygamous type of situation. So like a big love type of situation. So there's that grace period necessary, allowing people to adjust to their roles respectively, masculine and feminine, to almost readjust, because feminine has been used to overcompensating for the void in that masculine counterpart. And perhaps to some degree, masculine has been used to maybe overcompensating or undercompensating for where they felt disadvantaged from the misalignment with the feminine counterpart. Even experiencing themselves as being more vulnerable, being more open to, you know, their emotions and to sharing them and exchanging them, intimacy overall. Yeah, so it's something about this grace period here that's going to be interesting, because it is up to the feminine to really discern and objectively choose your, you know, level of commitment wisely. Because it's just a different thing when you have less to choose from and when you have so many. Like, or even if you have two great guys, you know, but they're both really, really great. You know, it's just like, how do you decide? Through high standards and secure boundaries, I suppose, with the Seven of Wands here. Making a head and heart decision, even though I don't see any evidence for the feminine in her, you know, in her emotional sense. Oh, well, that's that on that. That's the combination of the two, head and heart. Overall spirit. So you will know intuitively what is a divine match for you. And as long as you're honest with yourself about that, and it's not based in anything outside of your integrity, not off of anything superficial, not off of pride, not off of ego, you know, like keeping it pure, then you'll know exactly what to allow into your intimate space and what to have to establish a boundary or a standard against or from. Yeah. I guess it could work for the masculine too, because if you think about it, you got all these divine feminines in waiting that just been like, you know, like the scripture about the bride. Ooh. Like how the brides, there were like 10 brides, but not everybody was waiting, prepared, you know, or preparing themselves for the return of their bridegroom, which in this case, in the scripture, was Christ. So that could take a whole nother spin, and definitely with the high priestess makes sense. It's about, you know, and it doesn't even have to be, again, as primitive as a relationship or prospect of partnership in a physical form. It literally could be about some elevated consciousness that is about to take the world by storm. And depending on your preparation to receive it, in the essence of all that I kind of said regarding partnership, you know, where we've been used to having a pretty low expectation, you know, to receive much of anything, let alone something of supreme substance. And now that is very much so not just a possibility, but an impending reality. And it's been a matter of how prepared you have, like how devoted and committed. Like, so the 10 brides, right? It's like some of them, I think like 5 of them or so, only about half of them really were prepared for the return of the bridegroom, with their lamps, you know, filled with oil, and their wicks trimmed and ready, like, you know, get into that imagery too, about the light, you know, ready to illuminate or be enlightened even, which the hangman did show up, ready to be enlightened at a moment's notice. You know, as didn't I say, like, it's gonna just happen, like where did this all come from? And I also said that June is going to be a revelatory month. So it's something higher level than that. Thank you, Spirit, for making it clear, which is why it was just so confusing. Like, what? I'm noticing that my messages are going to a different level now. And so it's taking me time. So please give me grace to adjust to these frequencies. Give me a grace period, please, to adjust to the frequencies of what's being transmitted, so that I can, you know, share it properly in a way that makes sense. But a lot of the ways that I know how to make it make sense is through practical ideas and analogies and examples, that as how it is how it is downloaded to me. But 9 times out of 10, as the high priestess is something way more sophisticated spiritually than the everyday physical expression that would make more sense, that is easier to transmit, but may not quite hit it where it needs to be hit, you know, or maybe it does, I don't know. But either way, some were prepared for this transmission of truth, and here it is, the Ace of Swords, and some were not. Some were in this area here, like, you know, kind of playing around, not really making wise decisions, engaging in unnecessary competition, or trying to cut corners to get ahead, you know, maybe trying to cut down others to get a jump on this transmission, or whatever it is that they idealized as the prize, or even material coveting, you know, as opposed to spiritual devotion. So some were prepared of those brides and some were not. And, you know, obviously so, those that were ready to go and had their lamps filled and their wicks trimmed, when it was time to go meet their groom, they jumped up. And didn't I say something about polygamy? They jumped up, lit their lamps, or I think I don't know if they kept their lamps lit, or some kept them lit, some needed to go, they didn't have fuel, and some didn't have them lit at all. I forget how the story goes, but basically it's a matter of preparation and being in expectation for the unexpected, but also for the impossibilities as well. And really like, and it literally being in expectation, because it's something that you've been working on yourself to receive and calling in, even though it's at a magnitude and a frequency that you yourself aren't even really sure how to prepare for. You know, like I said, this storm of energy, whether it be in an eligible bachelors or opportunities for advancement or inspiration, enlightenment, whatever it is, it's coming at such a magnitude that you are going to be put in a high level position to make high powered decisions for yourself. So I said something earlier about business practices. Was that today? I feel like I did. Like, yeah, having a strategic business practice in mind, more or less, is just having your integrity established by way of your boundaries and standards, so that when it does flow through, whatever it is, whomever it is, however it is, whenever it does, you don't just either try to consume all of it at once, you know, hoarding, or being gluttonous about what it is and taking more than what is due to you, because that will put you back in this area that you don't want to be in. But you also don't miss the opportunity to receive what is absolutely assigned to you, what you've been appointed to, as a matter of fact, perhaps even ordained or anointed for. Yeah. I get the sense that you can't miss the overflow even if you tried, or the surge if you tried, but it still is about how you engage it that makes all the difference, because some could really become overwhelmed and some perhaps could be underwhelmed to not even see it for what it truly is and dismiss it or label it as something that is like almost rejected, or feel like it's something threatening, you know, like consider how it feels when you don't have enough choices, or when you have too much and it's like, oh my God, like I don't even want to engage, you know, it becomes like too much to make a choice, which could be this energy here with the Two of Wands. So this is interesting, but I'm out of here. Oh, here's the power and the inspiration right here. You got it. You got this. You got this. You know exactly. This is like, it's raining men. Hallelujah. It's raining men. Amen. And you seeing the wand that is directly assigned to you, and amidst all of the energies that present themselves. This is like the selection of the best candidate right here, because it identically matches your frequency, spirit, and passion. Like it's aligned with your, man, I ain't even saying this right, but hopefully you're feeling this energy. This is like literally finding, I don't even know, like this is like the bride of Christ, and this is like the second coming with this wand here. And there being a union of the two. And that could be, again, outer body with masculine and feminine becoming one, or it literally could be the marriage of your supreme self, your Christ consciousness, with your physical being, because you've cleansed your force field to be a conduit of it, and now here you are receiving it. Oh my gosh. This is it. This is it. This is it. Thank you, Divine Masculine, for showing up for us. Pardon me. Thank you, Divine Masculine, for showing up for yourself first. And thank you for revering us to be worth showing up for as well. Because make no mistake about it, the Divine Feminine, the Empress, the High Priestess, even in the Lover's card, he's looking at her, she's looking up at the angel. So the feminine has rightfully and righteously been the motivation for ascension, magnificent transcendence and transformation. Thank God. I just don't think that we ever, you know, it's like you never really, well, I can't say you never, because I believe, and I'm sure there are many others that believe too, that there would be an alignment where we are, meaning individually, not like all feminines are here and masculines are here. I'm just saying, like, wherever you are, that you would encounter the frequency in a person or energy that was a direct alignment. But many of us have been so fixated on that process for ourselves that we probably you would never see it coming, really. And that's kind of how it should be, actually. You should be so focused on your own personal work that you don't really have time to be looking for anything outside of you. You're too busy cultivating it within you. But certainly, even for that hope that there would be a collective alignment, you know, even outside of self, I don't think anyone could truly foresee it happening in the wave and with the velocity that it's about to. And it could look practically like people just popping up, getting married or getting coupled up, or suddenly being off the market in these like seriously committed relationships out of nowhere. Like, so-and-so got a girlfriend, so-and-so got a boyfriend. When did she get married? When did they move in together? When did they have kids? Like, relationships just popping up, you know, springing up like wildfire. When it seems like everybody's getting a divorce, everybody's breaking up, suddenly here's this surge of union and partnership. And not just like people, and certainly there could still be more on every end of the spectrum, okay? So I'm not saying it completely washes away the polarity, but I'm saying that, or the duality, whatever, but I'm saying that it's going to be more of a spectacle, this wonder of shifting that happens, where we're seeing much more of a focus on what's going well in unions, in marriages, and relationships, than we are fixated on the drama and toxicity and trauma. Who's breaking up, who's fighting, and there'll still be a world for that, I'm sure, until there is no more. But there's a shifting happening where, if anything, there'll be much more of a balance, so that you literally don't feel like you have more toxicity to choose from than healthy spectacles. It'll be balanced out, or more of the greater, or more of the latter. So if that's something that you are in the market for, certainly present yourself with a high value in the marketplace as you are, meaning confidently, boldly, leading with your spiritual nature as an asset to your identity, as, an expression of it, and being expectant to encounter that frequency, and that, like, literally being the bride that is anticipating their bridegroom. Oil-filled, wick trimmed, lamp burning, like light fully illuminated as the beacon that you are. And it won't be in vain. It won't be in vain in this lifetime, especially if you have prepared yourself for this appointment. You will not be disappointed. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone because it took so long to get to that. Hopefully you can glean something from what I ultimately got to, but it's looking good. It's looking real good. It's looking good. So much love to you, literally much love to you. And I pray it be attracted to you in equal or even overwhelming frequencies of what you, compared to what you are admitting, truly, because you deserve it. Because you deserve it, you worked for it, you've established yourself as a prime candidate of it, and now you're being chosen to receive it. Great benefits, highly coveted position. All right, so congratulations, enjoy. Thank you for listening and watching. Until next time, as always, I leave you with peace.